Hey, all of us only get 24 hours a day. It's how we use our time that is really important. And I want to help you manage your time using the free apps that are available to you through a Gmail account. If you don't have your own personal Gmail, it's free and you can set one up. And they have, like I say, all of these different apps. Over here, you see the 9 little squares. You click on that and it brings up their apps. And we're going to focus in here on the calendar. I've already set one up that I want to use to show you what you can do. Now, when you first started out, they're going to, by default, give you a calendar that's by your name. They're going to include a place for birthdays. They're going to have reminders and tasks, but you can add others. I've already added a classes calendar, a family calendar, and a work calendar. I want to show you how to add one more, and we're going to call this new calendar our study calendar. And you'll see why in just a few minutes why I'm adding this particular calendar. And so let's come back to the calendars. And one other thing I want to show you while we're there is they've created that calendar in a light green. Well, I want to really have this be able to show up. So if we click on those little dots, you can change the color, and let's go ahead and make our study calendar stand out and make it this kind of turquoise purple color. So that way we can see it and it's different from all the others, okay? Now, when you first start with your calendar, the important thing to do is put all of your classes into your calendar all at one time. And so I've already got some in, but let's imagine we have a Monday health class that meets every week at 3 o'clock. And so I'm going to enter in Class Connect Health. And then this is a class that's not an all day, but it meets just as, like I said, at the specific time of 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And it meets for an hour, so it goes not until 3:30, but it goes until 4. And this class repeats, like I said, it is weekly every Monday. Okay, you can add a location if you want. Notice here there's notifications so that you can be reminded. I don't need a 30-minute reminder, but maybe you only need a 10-minute reminder ahead of time, so it can put a pop-up notice on your computer or your phone for you. Again, this is one of our classes, so make sure you choose the correct calendar. But then the important thing on all your classes, put your teacher's name for the class. We're going to say that this is Mrs. Daisy. And also put her contact information or your teacher's contact information so that you have everything that you need for any class all in one place and it's easy to find. You don't have to look for it, but it's right there. So myschool.org. There's her email address. Any other information can be put there, and anytime you click on any of those classes, it'll be available. So now we've set up a class for every Monday. Now notice, it's even down here on Christmas, okay? You can delete that really easily by right-clicking and just delete that event. You don't want to delete them all because you only want to delete the ones that don't belong. Same thing, it's down here on New Year's Day. We can delete that one. And the reason why you are able to delete those is this particular week for Ohio Virtual Academy is your state testing week. If we go to the week view, oops, I don't want to create another event. If we go to the week view over here, and look at the December 3rd week, I did that by clicking on the 3. Notice I've already put in that, oh, I have a state test on that Monday and I have this test. Well, all of my teachers had already emailed me to say that they would not be having Class Connect, but I had not heard from my health teacher yet. Well, on that weekend, I found out I don't have health, so I can come in and again, I can delete it and I can be aware of whether or not there have been changes to my class schedule based on what the teachers have been communicating with me. And so it's important to include all of your events, and so when you have special things, make sure to add those and put them in there. Let's move over here to the next week, because here's what a typical week might look like for you. You've got several classes that you have taking place on each and every given day, but notice you've got open space that shows you you're not committed to the class at that point in time. What can you do with that time? That's a time that you can study. And so we've used the task menu over here to create some tasks like the English chapter 7, algebra, There was a page that was assigned, page 129, and biology homework. Maybe we have another task that we need to work on that week, and so you can click to add a task, and we can say that the health class had homework that you need to be able to work on, and it needs to be done before that class. Click your little edit button, and you can choose the date, and so that is on that Monday, the 10th. I'm in November. We got to go to the right month. There we go. And it will now show up on Monday the 10th as well. And there it is. And so when am I going to do that? I can use my study. I need to have it done beforehand, and I figure it's only going to take me a half hour. So I'm going to do it right after lunch at 1 o'clock. And so I'm going to put in my specific study time for health homework. And it's going to be from 1 until 1:30, and again I'm going to change that to my study class so that I know that that's what I want to do, and so I'm planning out my day. I also had English that I needed to do that day, and so maybe I'm going to do that right after English so that it's fresh in my mind. I'm going to do English homework, and I'm only going to work on it for another half hour after class, so from 11 to 11:30. I'm going to make that my study calendar, and so now as you see I've got my classes in red, I've got 2 study times, and I have my other classes that are planned for that day. You see, this is important to know your schedule and when you have time to do things, because notice I've put in here a transition class. Your transition liaison is going to call from time to time to schedule appointments, and you need to know when you could meet with them. And so by being able to look at a week view, you can see exactly when you have time, and you can schedule those appointments that you need to keep track of. Notice down here at the bottom of the schedule, if I scroll it up, there's a work time that I've put in here that you need to remember. You've got work that day if you have a job. So you can keep track of all your events and all your scheduling all in one place using the calendar and the task menu. Now, of course, none of us are going to carry around our computers with us. We live in a mobile society, and so the neat thing about the desktop version that you use through the web is it's also able to sync to your device. Google Calendar, you can get it as an app for either your Android or Apple device. This particular page is google.com/calendar/about/, and they've got a video here that you could watch. But notice they're encouraging you to see you can make the most of every day. The Google app helps you spend less time managing your schedule and more time enjoying it. There's a schedule view with a view that gives you a view. I mean, they've got the pictures and stuff that get added to event. Your events that show up in an email are going to be automatically added to your Google Calendar. You can create events here on your phone, and it'll sync to your Google Calendar that you'll be able to see on your desktop back at home. You can have all that information at your fingertips. So again, we want to help you stay organized and plan your schedule, and Google has the tools to help you do it and be a more effective student. If you've got questions on how you can use the Google apps to plan your schedule, contact your transition service liaison, because we are here to help. Have a great day.